Today's topic is sleep, and I'm sure you are aware that it's a huge part of our life. A lot of people do struggle to get a sound sleep and have consistent sleep where they feel refreshed and wake up feeling energized and ready to go for the day. There's a lot of cyclic things happening, like a lot of detoxing from things like the liver and the lung especially. In Chinese medicine, there's a special clock that you might have seen. It's called the orrery clock, and each organ is assigned a 2-hour slot where they sort of have their most energy and do their work. A system called the triple warmer, or sanjiao in Chinese, and that basically is this whole sort of torso section divided by 3, and this sanjiao regulates the communication between all the organs. So for instance, the sanjiao's time is 9 till 11. So already at that time you can see we should be slowing down, maybe already being asleep, so we can let that system communicate and make sure that it's being recharged. Then we go on to the next slot. 11 till 1 is gallbladder, 1 till 3 is liver, and 3 to 5 is lung. So it's really important for these organs to be detoxing and being able to clean out while we're sleeping. A number of things we can do is night routine is a huge one. And the amazing thing about having a good night routine is that it sets up for a great morning routine. You might have already experienced this, or you might have heard of it. It's like adrenal fatigue. So the tired but wired, where you actually feel like you get more energy at night. And I've been there, and you get a lot done, but it's not a great way to live because you're feeling quite depleted. You're essentially should be sleeping and feeling restful, and you're actually just super excited and want to get a lot of things done. I think it's really important to try and break through these patterns that you might already have, and I've really had to work on that myself from my hospitality years, and reprogram the body by creating these new habits and new routines. As the sun's going down, we're already slowing down. We're starting to get things done that can prepare us for a good sleep. So making sure the house is clean, and so we don't need to think that we need to get up and do anything in the middle of the night, or that we can start the day fresh. Doing a nice self-care routine, which is going to allow the body to relax, feel good, slow down. There's things like self-massage that can help the body remove any waste from the day or start getting them moving through the lymphatic system. Screen time's a big one, and I talk about it a little bit in a blog called Good Space, Good Sleep on my website. And I talk a lot about the space, which is really important too, obviously. But screen time's a big one because a lot of us are probably on our phone or computers at that time, either using the blue blocker glasses, which you might have heard of, or putting on Flux, which is a free program to put like a yellow or red tinge on the screen. Or also on the phones you can do like night mode. Blocking that blue light can help our endocrine and nervous system not be so frizzled, and also really help our eyes actually. We're really wanting to regulate our circadian rhythm, so the way that our body operates. And you know, like it was back in the day, people would get up with the sun and go to bed sleeping when it was dark. Whereas now in our Western society with electricity, we could be up for hours and hours, and we've sort of created these strong patterns of how the body actually wants to work, and really tune in and regulate your own sleep cycle. It might be quite tough initially, and I know a lot of people that do struggle with sleep, you can sort of be quite hesitant, because if you're not having good sleep, you're always worried about, oh my God, is tonight going to be the night where I can't sleep again? And now I've only got 3 hours left to sleep and things like that. So trying to be really calm and just work through it one night at a time if you're having problems with it. Huge one that I suggest all the time is writing things down. So as you probably know, I'm a list maker, so you can make lists for the next day already, so you don't need to think about anything. The aim is to get everything out of your head, because that's usually what's keeping people awake or making people have a really restless sleep, because you're sort of processing things throughout the night, or you're working. That's the worst. And also when we're having these quite strong and intense dreams, it's usually that the mind is over processing things while we're sleeping, and we haven't actually sunk down to this deeper sleep, which means that our body can't actually recharge properly and detoxify everything. And it means that we won't have enough energy to be replenished for the next day to come. If you have found that you have a lot of thoughts, especially at night, and that's where it always happens because the world's getting quieter, everything's getting slower, and all of a sudden this one here, the mind, is starting to talk a lot and have a lot to say. So I always suggest having a book near the bed. If that's you, you can write everything down. It doesn't need to sound good, it doesn't need to look pretty, just get it all out of here, put it on paper. Thoughts, feelings, like anything. If you're angry about something, if something's upset you, it's really great to get this out of your physical body and mental body and put it into a different form, which is paper. Having clean sheets, huge, that can make such a difference, and I'm sure you've noticed how much better you can sleep from that. Essential oils, calming oils like lavender or chamomile, they can be quite soothing. A lot of my clients get a yoga nidra. It's a 20-minute version, and it's really beautiful. It's basically called, well, translates to like a sleeping yoga, so you don't need to do anything. If you don't like something like that, you can try any meditations or like a guided meditation, or just even some beautiful sounds that are really soothing, like, and calming and make you sleepy. Insight Time is usually an app I suggest. It's free and it's got so many amazing things on it. Otherwise, YouTube's got a lot of things as well. I think the most important thing, as I've mentioned, is to create a new sleep cycle. So trying to get to bed at a certain time, sometimes you've really got to kick your own butt and just do it, but it's totally worth it. And then trying to set a regular time to get up. The body likes regular things. So waking up with the sun is perfect. A really important thing as well is not to press the snooze button because we get these cortisol spikes. So cortisol is a stress hormone that is created by our adrenal glands. They sit on top of the kidneys, and it can be a good stress hormone as well. It's not always a negative. When it spikes, it's when we first see sunlight, like when we first wake up. So we want this to be regulated throughout the whole day. If we keep pressing snooze, you'll feel how lethargic you can get just from snoozing. So it can set you up totally different for the day. Straight out of bed, making sure that your phone is definitely on airplane mode and not connected to Wi-Fi, but pushing it really far away from the bed, so you physically have to get out of bed to wake up and to turn it off. I also like to choose a good song as my alarm, so none of these really annoying, angry sounding beeps, because they can really just get you agitated before you've even started your day. And nothing too soothing, but a nice song that can really lift your spirits and get you on a good vibe to start the day. Not eating too late at night is a really important one, because we don't want to, first of all, give the body anything to do while it's supposed to be sleeping and detoxing and slowing down. And in Chinese medicine, we talk about the mind goes into the heart, and so the stomach is located just under the heart here. And if this is full with food, literally the mind cannot sink down and move down into the heart and go deeper. So you'll find that the mind, we say, it keeps bouncing back up. Restless sleep, crazy dreams, not feeling refreshed. Utilizing things like magnesium. You can take magnesium internally. I like to prescribe like a magnesium oil to people as well. Just make sure you get a good one. There's about 10 different types of magnesium, and the body processes them all differently. When you put something on topically on the skin, it means that it doesn't need to be processed through the digestive system, and the body can absorb as much as it needs and put it where it needs it as well. Magnesium is responsible for about 300 plus processes in the body, assisting with sleep and calming the nervous system and regulating it, and also relaxing smooth muscle. People might also feel restless in the body, like things like restless leg syndrome, or just like kicking and doing all kinds of things in your sleep. So using something like a magnesium can really help for that, not just on the physical body, but also for the mental body to relax as well by calming the nervous system. Sleepy tea is always nice. It can really calm the body down, and a nice herbal tea. There's lots of different ones to choose from. It seems really simple actually, but it's important to not have too much fluid near bedtime too, because if you're waking up to have to go to the bathroom, you're breaking that sleep cycle. Trying to get your fluids in more throughout the beginning of the day. So there's quite a few things you can do there if you're not already, or sometimes it's just nice to have a reminder of it, and I hope they help.